As he rushed from man to man tending to their wounds, a machine gun bullet struck him in the right leg. He paused long enough to rip open his pants, stuff a bandage into the wound and administer morphine to himself. In 1965, Lawrence Joel, then a 37-year-old Army Spec 5, was assigned to the 173rd Airborne Brigade, and sent to Vietnam. On November 8 he accompanied an infantry company into a Viet Cong stronghold. Joel was unarmed and carrying just a medical aid bag. After jumping from helicopters, the squad was hit by withering fire from a hidden large Viet Cong force. Nearly every man was killed or wounded. The remaining squad scrambled for cover to engage the enemy in what became a bitter 24-hour firefight. Ignoring enemy fire, Joel rushed forward to reach the wounded and dead. As he darted from man to man, a bullet struck him in the leg. He paused long enough to rip open his pants, stuff a bandage into the wound and administer morphine to himself. Hobbling across the battlefield, Joel patched up bullet wounds and gave mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Finding a man who needed blood, Joel knelt in full view of the enemy to hold the bottle high enough to administer life-saving plasma amid a hail of bullets. Joel saw one soldier with a chest wound bubbling out his last ounces of blood. He pressed a plastic bandage bag over it, hoping to congeal the blood and silently praying for a miracle. The soldier survived. A second bullet lodged in Joel's right thigh, but he dragged himself over the battlefield to treat 13 more men before his supplies ran out. Joel sent word that he needed more. While waiting, he shouted words of encouragement to men who seemed to have no hope. A soldier who crept forward with the supplies noted Joel's ripped trousers and bloody, bandaged legs. "You better head back to the rear and get treatment," the soldier warned. "I'll be all right," Joel responded. As another platoon charged forward to dislodge the entrenched enemy, Joel followed, knowing there would be many more wounds. Throughout the day and into the night, he limped and crawled under deadly fire to aid and comfort his comrades, even though they urged him to get down and head to the rear for treatment. Joel refused. The next morning the battlefield was littered with more than 400 enemy bodies. Nearly 50 Americans were dead and more were wounded. Joel moved about the battlefield to search for the wounded and recover the dead. He finally collapsed. An officer found Joel and ordered him to the rear for treatment. His comrades, stunned by his display of courage, compassion and determination, nominated him for the Medal of Honor. President Johnson presented him with the medal on March 9, 1967. Joel was the first living black American to receive the award in combat since the 1898 Spanish-American War and the first medic to get it in Vietnam. In 1984, at age 55, Joel died of complications from diabetes. He is buried at Arlington National Cemetery. God bless Lawrence Joel. And God bless our vets.